So we want to talk about interpreting a linear model. So it says the figure represents the median cost of new privately owned one-family houses sold in the Midwest. So they give us this diagram, and you can see that the points don't exactly lie on the line. Some are a little bit above, some are a little bit below, but it's close. And it tells us that the x-axis corresponds to the year, and then the y-axis is the price. So then below it says, let y represent the median cost of a new privately owned one-family house sold in the Midwest. Let x represent the year, where x is 0 corresponds to the year 1980, x is 1 represents 1981, and so on. Then the equation y equals 5.3x plus 63.4, where x is greater than or equal to 0, approximates the median cost of new privately owned one-family homes sold in the Midwest. So they give us the equation right here. Y equals 5.3x plus 63.4. We know that y is the median cost, and if we look up here, that's the cost in thousands. So when you see 63.4, we have to think of it as 63.4 thousand, or 63,400. When we see 5.3, we're thinking 5.3 thousand, so 5,300. Alright, so in A, it says, use the linear equation to approximate the median cost of new privately owned one-family houses in the Midwest in the year 2005. So first off, we know that x equals 0 corresponds to the year 1980. So if we want 2005, we want to know how many years after 1980 is that. So you would subtract 2005 minus 1980, and that would tell you that we want to use x equals 25, because 2005 is 25 years after 1980. So now we write our equation down. Y equals 5.3x plus 63.4. And we're going to plug in 25 for x, so y equals 5.3 times 25 plus 63.4. At this point, I would just plug that into your calculator, and it's going to give you 195.9. And remember, that's in thousands. So in 2005, the median price was 195.9 thousand. Or, to state it more clearly, 195,900. Basically, all we're doing is we're taking the number we're given and we're multiplying by 1,000. In part B, it says, use the linear equation to approximate the median cost for the year 1988 and compare it with the actual median cost of 101,600. So remember that our model is only ever giving us an approximation. So what they're doing is they're asking us to find the approximation that our model gives us for 1988 and then compare it to the actual value which they've given us. So first off, we know that x equals 0 corresponds to 1980. So if we want 1988, that's 8 years later, so we want to use x equals 8. So we plug it in, y equals, that's 5.3x plus 63.4. Plug in x is 8, so y equals 5.3 times 8 plus 63.4. And when you plug that into your calculator, you should have 105.8, and that's 1,000. So if we multiply that by 1,000, we get y equals 105,800. So this was our estimate that our model gave us. We now want to compare that to the actual, so we just subtract to find the difference. So 105,800 minus what we know was the actual median cost, 101,600. And when we subtract, what we get is 4,200. So there's a difference between our estimate and the actual value of 4,200. Notice that our estimate of 105,800 was more than the actual cost of 101,600. So what we actually want to say is that our model overestimated by 4,200. So model overestimates by $4,200. Part C says, what is the slope of the line and what does it mean in the context of this problem? Well, we know that our model is y equals 5.3x plus 63.4. The slope is always attached to the x, so m equals 5.3. Now remember that we've said that these are in thousands because this is the cost, so this is really in thousands. So if we multiply 5.3 by 1,000, we get 5,300. So what this is telling us is that every year that passes, since our slope is positive, we know it's increasing. So our cost is increasing by $5,300 per year, and that's what I'll write. So our median cost increases by $5,300 per year. Remember that it wanted us to state the slope and interpret it, which is why I boxed both of those. In part D it says, what is the y-intercept? What does it mean in the context of this problem? So once again, I'll write down my equation. Y equals 5.3x plus 63.4. That constant is the y-coordinate of our y-intercept. So our y-intercept is x is 0, y is 63.4. But remember, x is the years after 1980, y is the cost. So years after 1980, and then this is the median cost. So 0 years after 1980 is 1980. So what we would say is that in 1980, the median cost was, and that's in thousands, so 63.4 times 1,000 is 63,400. So in 1980, the median cost of those homes was 63,400.